For the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we ask your blessing to be upon this meeting tonight and bless our mayor and city council members and all that have gathered here to share in this time. And we especially uplift and remember the Dave Quinlan family, one of our longtime police officers and city council members who passed away suddenly just a short time ago, and ask your blessing upon them. And we pray for all those who live and work in Jeffersontown and pray for their safety and well-being, especially our first responders. Watch over and guide them, and those who work in public works and the safety for each one of them. May your blessing be upon this meeting and all who gather to share in it and our work together. For we do all of these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have any sign-ups?
We do not.
No, Matt? No one out there wants to speak? Well, that's good. Means most people are happy. Okay, reading of the minutes, January 21st, 2025.
I make a motion to approve the January 21st, 2025 meeting as distributed.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. General fund warrant number 1622.
I make a motion for approval of general fund warrant number 1622 by title only.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Road fund warrant number 1008.
Make a motion to approve road fund warrant 1008.
Title only.
Alone.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. First reading of resolution number 807, series 2025.
I make a motion for first reading of resolution number 807, series 2025 by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
A resolution approving the provision of incentives to Wayland Machine and Tool LLC pursuant to ordinance 1429, series 2022, Jeffersontown Occupation Business Savings Program. Matt? Yeah, he's already there.
Yep.
You're on.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. This is a jobs incentive application for, as the city attorney mentioned, Wayland Machine and Tool. They are relocating their operation to our city. In your packet should have been a summary sheet kind of giving you a little snapshot of the company, where they're locating, and a little bit of what the incentive program will be as far as the financial impact on the city and what the anticipated reimbursement request to be during that 5-year period. They are a company that are bringing their whole operation to our city off of Technology Drive, locating their 58 current employees and going to grow to an additional 30 employees, investing about $5.7 million in our community here. They are a machine tool. They are works a lot of their contracts with the defense industry. With us tonight is the president of that company, John Triplett, and I'd like to have him come up and just introduce himself and tell you a little bit about Wayland Machine and Tool. John.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Wayland Machine and Tool is a veteran-owned small business, been in business for over 30 years. Our current location is what used to be Naval Ordnance Station, if you remember Naval Ordnance Station in Louisville for many, many years.
I do. Some of the people are too young, but I remember.
I remember it for a lot of reasons myself. But that's where we're currently located, and we're so very, very happy to move to Jeffersontown and Bluegrass Park. All of our employees are excited to move. We're at 58 to 60 people now. We plan on adding an additional 30 the first year right off the bat. We have some new contracts coming. We're a defense industry supplier. We work for the Defense Industrial Base. Everything we do is defense oriented. Some of our customers are people like Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, Johnson Controls, those type people. So everything we do is in support of the defense of this nation. And with a veteran owning our business, it's a real heartfelt operation. all the way from the top down. So we're very, very happy to be here and to move to.
Well, we're happy to have you.
Welcome
So
to J-Town.
thank you. Welcome to Jeffersontown. Thank you. Anybody got any questions?
Questions?
Yeah, real quick. 30 jobs in 5 years and more jobs. How are you getting those jobs?
Additional contracts. The defense industrial base is ever changing. As you well know, there's always new things that need to be built, as well as keeping our current fleet up to snuff with everything that they need. And as you know, there's been a lot of weaponry that has been given or sold to other countries, and our stockpiles are running low. So there's a lot of things that have to be just put back to our levels that they need to be, much less the new equipment that we'll be building for new programs.
Very
There's
good.
a lot of things with additive manufacturing and all the things, technologies that are available to make our industry better suited for the current weapons that are being developed. There's a lot coming.
Wonderful.
You know, I make it a practice to come over to the businesses. So if you get over there and get going, and if you want me to come tour one day, I would love to. It's very interesting. I enjoy going into the businesses that are there. So just give me a call. You got my card.
Would love to. It's going to be quite a bit to move all of our machinery there. We've got 70+ machines to move out. So probably going to be June by the time we really get moved in 100%. We
Wow.
will have a ribbon cutting ceremony. We'd
Oh,
love
okay.
to invite you and have you come.
Okay.
All
Well,
of
thank you very much.
All of you participate.
Thank you. Thank you. And welcome to J-Town.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if there are no other questions, this being a resolution, you may entertain a motion for passage.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. First reading of resolution number 808, series 2025.
Make a motion to approve resolution 808, series 2025, first reading as
This is
distributed.
first reading.
First reading as distributed.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
A resolution approving the provision of incentives to Total Quality Logistics LLC pursuant to ordinance 1429, series 2022, Jeffersontown Occupation Business Savings Program. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I got another exciting news with the relocation of Total Quality Logistics coming out of downtown Louisville, and they're locating over on Lynn Station Road, 10,400 Lynn Station Road, taking approximately 36,000 square feet, a whole third floor of the atrium building, which is kind of the last building on the right before you enter Woodcroft. We're very excited about this company as well. With us tonight is Brian Barger. He is the general manager, I believe, with TQL, and he's going to be bringing 169 jobs to our city and try to grow that up to about 178. Could be as much as maybe 191 with some part-time employees that they use for their model. I'm going to allow him to talk a little bit about what TQL does in the freight industry and a little bit about their operation here in our city. So please welcome me and Brian Barger.
Welcome, Brian.
Hi.
They got a little bit of the good, bad, and the ugly upstairs, did you? So,
Yeah, we
you
got it.
know,
We saw it all.
yeah, I welcome you.
Happy
Go.
birthday or happy belated birthday.
That was last Monday, so I
okay.
just didn't take them down. Go
Well,
ahead.
we're very excited to join the community. I'm Brian Barger, been with Total Quality Logistics since 2011. A little bit about our company. We're the second largest freight brokerage company in North America, and we're one of the largest third-party logistics firms in the world. We connect businesses who need to ship products from trucking companies, steamship lines, rail lines, to help get their products across the U.S. To wherever they need to go. In 2023, the company's gross revenue was $6.7 billion, making it the second largest privately held company in the U.S. Our company timeline dates back to 1997 in Cincinnati, where we started, and that's where our headquarters still is. We have more than 60 offices across the country, including our new location, Jeffersontown, with more than 170 employees. We'll continue to work with our Louisville team. Since it opened in 2011, these employees can conduct sales and customer service for in-transit freight. And we're thrilled to join our new location, Atrium Center, moving from downtown, which has plenty of space for us to nearly double in size, and gives us lots of meeting spaces that is crucial to our business. TQL is also proud to have a strong culture. Our Louisville, Lexington, Erlanger offices have won Best Places to Work in Kentucky 12 times now.
Oh,
And TQL has earned a spot on the prestigious Fortune 100 Best Companies to Workplaces.
Mm.
We're also very involved with the community, giving back to Norton's Children's Hospital, Center for the Women's Families, Louisville Parks and Recreation, American Cancer Foundation, and they're Making Strides Walk program. Our employees commit to these causes, show how TQL's value in the community continues to be involved, and we're looking forward to growing our new space and being part of the new community.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming to Jeffersontown and working here. Anybody got any questions?
I
No?
do. You're
Okay.
just a broker. No semis will be rolling through here, right? You just strictly,
Unless we're coming to pick up his facility.
there you
No,
go.
yes.
There you
Um,
go.
Yeah, he
Oh,
could
yeah.
arrange that for you. There you go.
With us being a broker, we don't own any equipment ourselves. It's all third party. But the majority of what the company was founded on was the full truckload semis over the road. Since then, we've grown into LTL, ocean freight, customs. So a lot of hardworking individuals. It's an entry level sales position. So looking for people that are just willing to work hard. Our leaders, myself, we'll coach them up, teach them how to be productive on the phone, close new business, and they can all do that from the seat of their desk.
It's amazing to me how you all get all that planned and to be at this time and this part, it's amazing, like the airlines and how you're going to be there. I just know myself when I'm showing houses, trying to set up 8 houses and trying to figure out how much time in between, that mentally wears me out. So I don't know how you do what you
Let's
do.
just
but
too. I've got some grays if you
You
get.
got-
Yeah.
I don't think you have much gray. I have a lot of gray. Anyway, welcome to Jeffersontown and thank you for doing business here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, Mayor, you may entertain a motion for passage.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. First reading resolution number 810, series 2025.
I'll make a motion for the first reading of resolution number 810, series 2025 by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Before I begin, Mayor, I will point out that we didn't just skip over 809, so Mr. Hall won't have to interrupt me. But it was used previously in another resolution. With that, I'll read it. A resolution of the Jeffersontown, Kentucky City Council authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with Wayne Corporation regarding an employee assistance program for the Jeffersontown, Kentucky Police Department. I believe we have with us Sergeant Gilbert and Amanda and Chief and Major Mills. I mean, I don't know how many want to come up and talk about it, but
Thank you, Fred, Mayor and City Council. I'm just going to briefly address what they're going to talk about, but back in 2015, President Barack Obama put together a task force to come up with ideas for 21st century policing. At the end of that, there were 6 pillars that were recommendations for modern policing. The first one was community-oriented policing, crime prevention, it goes technology, et cetera. The 6th pillar addressed health and wellness for police officers. You know, this is an interesting profession. These officers have to go out and deal with things that most people will never see on a daily basis. So what we're trying to do is make this a healthy environment for our officers. So Dan and Amanda did some searching and found a grant that would be good for the next 2 years to allow us to do a health and wellness for our officers, which will give them, I know the city has an EAP program, but this is EAP on steroids. It'll open up opportunities for our officers to reach out and talk to clinical specialists on things that they might be having problems with. And that is in addition to, you may have just seen a news article about, we now have a wellness dog at our police station that was provided by the Bill Young Foundation and others, costing us nothing. But through our REACH program, they can go out and work with young people or victims of crime that might be experiencing a real traumatic incident. And this wellness dog can help in those situations where we have children that have to come in and give statements. But it also helps our officers when they're having a bad day. So I'll let Dan and Amanda further describe this program where we're asking the council to allow the mayor to sign. But it's a 2-year federal grant. It's about they can give you the exact number, about $16,000 a year to do this program, all paid for by a federal grant unless the federal government does away with federal grants. And, Mr. Fisher's helped us put together some language that in the event that they do away with federal grants, then this will not happen. We'll just allow this to happen while we're getting grant funding. But it's an opportunity for you to give more to these police officers on a daily basis and cost the city nothing. So, and after 2 years, we can resubmit an application for the grant to continue if that's what we wish to do. But with that, I'll turn it over to them. They can answer more specific. I don't know how in the weeds you want to go in this. If we get too long-winded, just say, hey, I've heard enough. But I'll turn it over to them for now. And it gives me an opportunity to brag on Amanda. She is in charge of our REACH program. They're doing tremendous things on a daily basis to try to help people that are suffering from mental illness, drug addiction. And as you know, we've been asked to come to Washington, D.C. by Morgan McGarvey and others to brief D.C. and what we're doing here in Jeffersontown, Kentucky, to try to help those people suffering from mental illness and addiction. So we're pretty proud of the program. And I especially want to give some atta-girls to Amanda. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
Yeah, I don't know how in depth you guys want to get, but me and Gilbert have been working really hard on this project because there's so many different barriers to law enforcement accessing mental health services, but they're one of the highest populations for post-traumatic stress disorder. 1 in 4 police officers have post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. They're 50% higher at suicide rates than the average population. 1 in 5 develop drinking problems. There are higher rates of heart disease. I think 70% have high divorce rates in the law enforcement, and that comes from all the compounded stress, the traumatic incidents that they have to go on, repeat runs, and there hasn't been a structure in place to really combat all these traumatic incidents that they're having to keep on going in. And historically, there's just been a culture of just kind of suck it up, buttercup. Like that's what police do. You go on the next run, you deal with it. You're strong men, like you handle these runs. But they're human, and addressing it before it comes to where all these things develop and stuff is one of the reasons why we really search for a grant to cover this holistic wellness program, not just mental health service, but alternative things that they, through our research, have found that can help alleviate. So we wrote a federal grant and we're able to secure $193,525 over 2 years to implement all these services. And the mental health services through Wayne Corporation is a component of that, which would cover roughly about $16,000 of our budget that would go directly towards mandatory mental health wellness check-ins and then ongoing therapy. One of the barriers is the police don't like to ask for help, and so we kind of want to push them towards being able to accept help and know where to go. That's not through their health insurance. There's not a record of it, other than we'll just know who does those mental health check-ins. And I don't know how much you want me to get. There's all different kinds of wellness series that will come in and do all aspects, not just mental health. But through the Wayne Corporation, that's different than EAP. Is just EAP. I found out that a lot of people don't understand that it's kind of just putting a Band-Aid on it. So you have basically our EAP has 3 sessions, and you're asking police with these compounded high risk jobs to go into depth and fix these issues when you barely can scratch the surface of one problem, and then their sessions are over. So this is a 2-year program that they can get a holistic of different techniques and services and EMDR, evidence-based treatment that can fix some of these and give them the tools that they need to keep relationships.
And tell you what you have to offer, because hearing you talking about it verbally and reading in a book is 2 different things,
Right.
Will they come in and explain all that to you officers?
Yeah, so through like what portion are you talking about? Because this is a whole
Well,
program.
There's a
So
whole lot
it-
of stuff to it.
There's a whole lot of stuff to it. For the actual mental health program, Wayne Corporation, that we did so many research and we interviewed so many different providers to find the best suited one for police that could provide, you know, a holistic approach for the mental health component. They will come in, they provide surveys, evaluation, they promote it, they provide the material, they do so many different things outside of our EAP. And I have a whole list of like all the different services that they provide versus our EAP. And EAP has 3 check marks and we just have so much more. They do they help with critical incident debriefing, EMDR, different modalities, in-depth sessions. They work with help in writing policies and procedures that are trauma informed, just so many different things that go into this contract with them.
So you all talk to all the officers and they feel like that there's a need for this, Dan?
I
Yes,
mean,
before we kind of really dove too far into this, we brought it up in a few roll calls and a few FOP meetings just to see if there would be any kind of hold up with anybody, and everybody seemed extremely open to it.
Okay.
Is there any introduction with the families before we get to an incident so that they can take and get comfortable with the Wayne folks and what to look for?
In this contract, it actually covers sessions for the family unit as well. And there's a family component that will do wellness series with it outside of the contract of Wayne. They only do kind of the mental health portion, but our wellness series will cover portions. And we even have materials that we plan on buying for a library that will help with families and work with the whole unit.
I've heard of these before, and one of the big keys I've always heard was the introduction to the family, so they know where to reach for once they see some signs or have some issues. So that's great.
There'll also be a component in this of doing policies and procedures for internal as well to recognize signs where hopefully we can intervene with an officer before it's, you know,
Yes.
changes their career. Or a
Right.
lawsuit.
Right. I got you. Any other questions?
Got some questions on the contract. I emailed and didn't get a response on these. Under points 22, 23, and 24 in the agreement, the Wayne Corporation gives the police department a certificate of insurance indemnification and provides the notice. We're asking the mayor to sign this, so can we not also have the city indemnified on that and not just the police?
Yeah, I think that's just a wording thing that we can correct with them. We tried to distinguish that because it is a department grant that we weren't including like city language, so city employees weren't included. But we can definitely.
I did point out to the company that, number one, the city Department of Police is not a legal entity that can sue or be sued, and it couldn't sign the contract to begin with. So that's been changed. And I also changed 19 and added additional language that which basically, I don't have it in front of me on the screen, but I said, however, this agreement is predicated upon the city receiving and having an ongoing drawdown ability of funds from the United States Department of Justice grant. I put the number in. In the event this grant is frozen, suspended, or otherwise ceases in any manner, this agreement shall be null and void from and after such time as the city gives written notice to Wayne of such cessation of said grant. So if in fact the grant is ever changed, we can immediately put them on notice that we're through with the contract. But yes, they are, all the language is supposed to be changed from the police department to the city of Jeffersontown.
The copy we got showed the police, so that's why.
Does that answer your question,
Yes,
Mark?
it does.
Anybody else have any questions?
Nope, I think this is great. So I'm really excited that we may be doing this here soon.
Nope,
No
we're
further-
good.
No further questions. You may entertain a motion for passage.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. first reading of ordinance number 1467, series 2025.
I'll make a motion for the first reading of ordinance number 1467, series 2025 by title only.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
An ordinance closing a portion of the unimproved right-of-way of Longview Road. I do notice that on the agenda, it says unimproved, but we did change it on the resolution itself. It is unimproved. And Mr. Lucy's here to give you a summary of that.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. This is a request for a partial right-of-way closure for an unimproved section of Longview Road. It's in the Southern Breeze subdivision, right up at the top of the, as the road comes in and curves around. That section there is what's being requested to be closed. There's a portion of right-of-way to the right of that that will remain open because with the bike and ped path, sidewalk goes through there. So that will remain. We'll still have pedestrian connection to the subdivisions to the north. I think we need new batteries. So this is the plat that they're requesting the closure. You can see on that plat the where it lists the existing sidewalk. So that will remain in public right of way so we can maintain it as needed. And so there's a picture of the existing sidewalk. To the left of that is where the right of way would be closed, which would allow for one more buildable lot in that subdivision. That's looking the other direction from where we just were down the road. And this is the other end of Longview, the north end where the pavement stops. There's a private driveway, and then the unimproved right of way will stay there until you get to the Southern Breeze subdivision. And that's just looking in the other direction. Of course, you can see where the sidewalk has been installed.
It makes sense, Steve.
And while we normally like to see interconnectivity with roadways and pedestrian, in this case, we're getting the pedestrian connection, and the Southern Breeze subdivision does have a roadway connection into Hill Ridge subdivision. So there are multiple ways in and out. So did not seem to cause an issue with the comprehensive plan, and Metro Planning Commission recommended approval.
This is just gonna be a stupid question because I know spring or summer breeze, whatever, spring breeze came in afterwards. But one of those pictures you showed was that road connecting as a driveway. If we didn't make this change, can we go take that driveway over and extend the road? Like, how does that work? You were back, go back.
Go back.
Yeah, I mean,
That's where it ended. Yeah.
the
Cause I know
plot
that wasn't
above.
there when that person built that house and that driveway, but it looks like that would be a continuation of Longview.
it would have been at the time. I mean, the problem with that is Longview is a long straight road. And then if it came down into where Southern Breeze is, down the hill, you get excessive speed.
I don't want to take it over. I was
yeah.
just saying, it seems like before all this came around, how would that have
The
happened?
original design, I think is
Yeah.
what you're saying, right?
The original subdivision layout, early 1900s.
Okay.
And it
Can
just,
you go back one more though? The picture of the driveway that's
I think
where the
that's-
firewood was and all that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of interesting though. I mean, like I said, this came afterwards, so like right there.
Right there.
Yeah, there's a driveway that curves around, and that's their access to that lot.
It's just,
And I think I'm going to add on to Tim's question here. Is that driveway on an unimproved road just on a different plot than what we're,
It's still unimproved public right of way until it makes that right-hand turn. So
don't want to take the driveway from.
no, I'm not saying we do. I'm just, do we need to close that unimproved section too?
that was not included in this request with the plat. The city would have to do that at the city's cost, I guess, with a plat and everything. I don't know that there's really any benefit because it is going through the public right of way and then off
There's really nowhere to go. when you
Yeah,
get there.
Right.
it's just that one lot that's affected by that.
But by closing this down, this allows another house to be built.
Yes.
Who owns that property? Who owns that?
Philip,
Philip Lay.
So what do you need? What do we need to make a motion?
We gotta approve
to
it.
approve?
No, this is an ordinance. It requires no further action tonight.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Steve.
Thank you.
that's it. Okay, thank you. No other questions? Okay, committee reports. Vince Grisanti.
Public Works has one observation. We noticed that the Public Works Department is out there filling potholes. You want to give a kudos for them. Thank you very much. No other report.
Thank you. Pam Hickey.
Parks and Rec has nothing.
Pam Ware is ill. She's got the flu. Mark Bloom.
No report from finance and no report from Mark.
Allison.
No report for legislative.
Tim Hall.
Economic Development had a long report during this meeting, so thank you and welcome again to the two businesses. I was talking to Matt a few minutes ago, and Matt was out at a networking event yesterday afternoon, went to a conference. Matt, can you come up and tell us about this conference and maybe give us an update on what historic downtown might be doing, the historic district?
Yes, thank you, Councilman Hall. Did you pass out the
They're,
handout I
they're
gave?
going around right now.
Okay.
I think we got a lot of them.
As most of you know, me and the mayor, we're working very hard to try to create some additional economic development opportunities for our downtown. I've been working with Third Turn and Greg Hayden, who serves on our Main Street Board, to kind of help work with those initiatives. And he thought it'd be a good idea that the city get involved a little bit with the Kentucky Guild of Brewers, which is basically a statewide organization that helps grow and manage the craft beer industry for Kentucky. So they had a one-day conference in Owensboro yesterday, attracting all the brewers from across the state, and they invited the city to come and participate in that conference. And so I went there to kind of listen, engage all the brewers from across the state, their board of directors, and I also included a little bit of the agenda that they had for that day, so you can kind of understand some of the educational level that they're trying to educate the brewers on how to grow a business, how to promote themselves, how can they also expand into new markets as they want to grow their business. The front page is a little flyer that I created to take with me to kind of profile a little bit about the city on the back and a little bit about where we see the brewing industry happening, at least in this region. So you can see on that front map, there's a lot of brewery around the Louisville area. And then of course, J-Town has our nice Third Turn. And so I was able to engage with a lot of different brewers and actually if getting ready to set up a meeting with one of brewer that does want to expand in this direction. So that's kind of exciting. One thing they're learning is that in order to grow their business and expand it, a lot of them are starting to migrate now towards allowing some food entry into them. A lot of breweries are just more of a pub house in a way. So now they're kind of diversifying and knowing that maybe food needs to be an important component as they do it. So that definitely complements what we're trying to do to make sure we provide a good mixture of uses and businesses. And so the food concept would be a benefit to that too. So I just kind of want to share that with you. I'll keep you posted on some of the progresses that have come out of that and some of the people that, or at least are going to be interested in sitting down and talking to us and see what's happening in Jefferson Town. So if
Thank
there's
you.
any
Matt.
questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Anything else, Tim?
I think that's enough reporting for me today. Thank
Okay.
you.
Ruth?
Administrative has no report.
Thank you. Mark?
Planning and zoning has no report, but Mayor, I'd like to talk about a meeting that Allison had us invited to. Ruth and I attended by a company called Blue Mind Health. They provide a service that is a employee benefit to employees of a clinic, and they're getting ready to operate one here in Jeffersontown, May or June, where the employees can go to this clinic for a checkup, a DOT, physical, or any other health-related matters. And also, if we have a workers' compensation injury, they can go to these, clinics. Their average wait time in the clinic is, 8 minutes before they're seeing. So it's a nice concierge, benefit for the employees. There were several employers there, and I've seen this company before. And in the long term, it takes and helps the employers reduce their health insurance costs.
Because they go there instead
Because
of,
they go there instead of through the health insurance. And I think it's something we should look
Look
at.
into.
I don't know that it fits us. I know that, I believe it was Jeffersonville, Clarksville, and maybe Shepherdsville are using them now
mm-hmm,
and are having good results with it.
mm-hmm.
So I think it would be something I'd like to get a ad hoc committee formed and, bring these folks in, hear more about them, and, see if it would be of a benefit, to the employees and to something we could save some money on health insurance.
That's fine. I mean, I don't-
Metro Louisville uses, I don't know if it's the same company, but they have some kind of same, same thing.
this is up and above our health insurance, right? That we had. Do you don't have any idea what it costs?
I don't recall, off the top of my head.
Replace our health insurance.
It would not replace.
It'd
our
be
health.
more cost then.
It'd be more cost, but they say that over time, it cuts the health insurance, cost. So
And is it 24 hours a day? Do you know that?
the clinic is only open a core 8 hours, and only open Monday through Friday. They say that pretty well services most people. Blue Mind Health.
If you want to set this up, who wants to be on that committee? I know you need to be. And Allison, you were there before.
No, I had just forwarded I know the girl that works there. I think you had probably met her before. She'd been, she was at the KLC thing one time, but she'd been up here. I forwarded the invitation. I couldn't make it if I wanted to go, but
You
I
want to
would
get
be
this
on
set
it.
up now, or you just want to wait?
Yeah, I'd like to take and, see who'd like to be on, committee with me, and then we can
Okay.
take and, get a.
Well,
meeting
it's
set
in,
up.
you need to have Holly there as well.
Yep.
Well, you need to get your four council members on the committee.
Yeah.
Right.
Now's the time to start talking about this because budget comes up pretty quick. It's gonna be an additional cost. We're gonna have to figure out how to cover it. Maybe it'll lower our cost. I'm not sure, but we'll see how all that works out. Maybe
But we've
not.
already signed a contract with the other company
Yeah, this would be
Well,
future.
Yeah.
in the future.
Well, what I'm saying is, if we do less on our insurance, our rates will go down,
Right.
and we'll get a lower rate if we go to this company. And if it offsets, it may be worth it until it's said and done.
I would
For
think that
example-
when you do this, you need your council people, and I think you need somebody from the police department, whoever sits in with us on that. And,
Be your insurance committee person.
and that Brian, yeah,
And then Brian, I would say it would be the insurance committee people need. to be
that we
involved
normally,
with this
right,
ad hoc.
right.
Yeah, now they're setting up shop here, or they already have
They're setting it up, they hope to be open in May or June
in the park.
in the park.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would say we
Bonus.
invite the health insurance, which would be Holly, police department, Mike, Brian, Sperling, and then whoever wants to be on this ad hoc committee.
Who on pair wants, you want, Ruth
Yeah, I'm
does.
down since I was there. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Pam said she would. Yeah, okay. Pam and Allison.
Okay, I'll take and, send an email out and we'll get some dates.
Okay, perfect.
Let Bill know.
Yeah, just let me know.
Okay, so you're gonna take care of that. Anything else, Mark?
That's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay,
And just because we have employees that are gonna be involved in this, it might be better if you can do it
in the daytime.
during the workday time for
Right.
them. Most of them be, I don't know what Mike's schedule is basically, but 2 or 3, in the afternoon. People that would be here. So,
Right. That needs to be in the afternoon. Okay. What about my, directors? Matt, you have anything? Brian, you got anything? Okay, Steve? Nothing. Jimmy? Scott? Chief? Brendan? Major Mills? Sergeant Gilbert? I'm trying to call you over here. And Amanda. Nobody else has anything? A couple things I'd like to say. First of all, Saturday, Matt and I went out to LaGrange. That is a happening little town. And they had what they called a chocolate crawl. And that place was so packed you couldn't even walk downtown LaGrange. This is the vision that I have for our city and how much is going on there. I would love to see Jeffersontown be and look and act like the little city of LaGrange. So we have met with some people there. They're going to come back again next Monday, hopefully. And I'm hoping to have them located on Downtown Square. I think if I can get one, it's kind of like a commissary store. They sell a little bit of everything from cards to bathing suits and all kinds of things. It's a nice little store. So that's the first thing. Second thing, Matt and I met with the Derby Festival Committee last week because I have a problem with the bed race, as you well know, and I've been on this since I became mayor. It costs us a lot of time, not a lot of money, but a lot of time and a lot of energy to participate in the bed race with the Derby Festival Parade. And I feel like, and I'm not speaking just for our employees, but I'm speaking for every employer that participates in the bed race. If you're going to do that, I feel like that they should be entitled to more than a 2-minute walk around the Broadbent Arena. These people put in hours and hours, and a lot of imagination goes into these beds, and a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie. And I'm just working on Derby Festival to try to get these people more acknowledgement and have some more participation in the Derby events than what we have. So anyway, we've kind of started that. I don't know what's going to happen out of it. Of course, every time I said something, then she wanted money. I don't know why it costs more money to push a bed around the Churchill Downs, but whatever. But I'm working on it. I just want to tell you I'm on that, about that. Next thing is I've been meeting with Jimmy and Debbie and Mayor Greenberg's office. JAM has outgrown its space, to put it lightly. And because of the fact that they are building apartments out here, when JAM started, it was Jeffersontown Area Ministries, which is what it was meant for when Mayor Ruckriegel started it. Well, now these Jeffersontown Area Ministries has grown outside of Jeffersontown area boundaries. So it's going all the way to Spencer. It's going all the way to Shelby. And now, because of the 2 new apartments that have been put inside around here, we have now obtained 800 more units than we normally had. So I don't know how many people are in each unit, but right there is just 800 people if only one person lived in it, if they were using and acquiring the uses of JAM. So I met with Mayor Greenberg's office. I really am looking to, well, first of all, we would like to move JAM out of the location that it's in. Jeffersonian is rented for 2 years in advance. It's a very nice place. We want to keep it a nice place. And when people come to tour the facility and they have to pay $3,000 or whatever it is, whatever rooms that they take to rent it, we don't want to go up there and have people standing, carts of empty food sitting there, dump clothing. It's not the perception that I want for this town. So I'm trying to work out something with Marlon and work out something with Greenberg's office. We give $50,000 a year to JAM. They give 71. But I'm looking for a place to relocate these people. If anybody knows or has any suggestions, we would love to hear from you. So I just want to tell you I'm on that one as well. The next thing is that Jimmy was with me on this, and we wanted to talk to them about the roads and about when the snow comes. And Jimmy will tell you they don't know where the roads are and where the roads aren't. So we know what we take care of, and we want to keep them salted because we get all the heat from it. And Stony Brook was a prime issue during the storms. like I told the group upstairs tonight, ever since I took office, we've had hurricanes, we've had tornadoes, and I've had ice and a snowstorm. So, and it's only been 24 months. So anyway, we're trying to get this worked out. Personally, I'd rather J-Town just take over Stony Brook if they will give us some compensation or some salt, or what do you want, Jimmy? What would it take?
Mayor, council, it would be negotiations of funding
Yeah.
to provide the salt, the equipment to do so. And some of y'all got involved during the snow event. People didn't know what was a state road and metro road, and I kind of passed out. Logic has a map. And in that mapping, it shows the highlighted areas. I was requested yesterday to turn over my snow routes. I'm like, huh? We don't need to because yours are highlighted on your map. And anyway, that's where it was at. So I think further negotiations to see what they're willing to do. And
Before this next storm comes, although it might be next weekend.
yeah,
I'm
well,
just preparing
it'd
you.
be minor if it is, or, you know, what we had in the past, again, that was a historical snowstorm. But again, it will happen again in the future, and how we all sit and prepare for it is the results we'll find.
Right, right. Okay. I just wanted to let y'all know that. And the last thing I want to say is that Jeffersontown has a heart. It's got a big heart. And over the last 30 days, we have had 3 deaths. 2 of them were associated with the city of Jeffersontown. What this city did for Alan Cravens, I cannot even tell you. The amount of people that turned out for the standing on the side of the road when the urn went through and his bicycle went through. And for you all that don't know this, this was a gentleman that you might have seen if you've ever come through J-Town. His name was Eddie Cravens. He was basically the city's child. That's what I would say. He always thought he was the mayor. And we had this was kind of a funny little story, but at the funeral, this is really funny. At the funeral, the priest was offered a place to live out at the Cravens house, which is out on Chenoweth Run Road. And it's a little tiny house, probably 600 square feet, maybe if that. And so the brother offered for the priest to live with Alan and Eddie while he was building his house. So I guess evidently the priest had never been there. So they allowed him to go because of the fact that he had animals and he had 9 cats. So they let him move in with the cats. And the priest said, I wasn't there till late at night and I left early in the morning. I bet he did. Well, anyway, this is really funny because Eddie, always thought he was the mayor of Jeffersontown. And so back years ago when Daniel was here, he always let Alan and Eddie believe that you're the mayor, and we've just always let it be because in their world, they were the mayor of Jeffersontown. So the priest said that he took him out to eat after he moved out of there. And he said, he asked the girl who was going to seat him, the hostess, to please set him down. He's the mayor of Jeffersontown. And the lady at Cracker Barrel looked at him like, okay, you're the mayor of Jeffersontown. So he set him down. So he said they were getting ready to pay. And he said, a guy walked in and said, how you doing, Mayor? And he said, from then on, I never doubted a word that these boys said if they were the mayor or not of Jeffersontown. So I'm just telling you, everybody has reached out. There's some silent angels out there. We are donating money still. We are collecting money. He did not have a furnace. We now have him a brand new furnace. We're on the way of, and all those cats, by the way, are buried there, but they died. But we're now helping to get a commode. Anytime that anybody knows anything, if you're handy with anything and you can help, this city is willing to help, to help and to help take care of him because now he's left alone. What we don't want to happen is that we want him to be able to live the rest of his life there. We don't want somebody to sell the house out from under him and put him somewhere else. That would probably break his spirit mentally and physically, So I just want to thank everybody out here who has been a big participant in this, and thank you all. And Jeffersontown, they shined, and every news station covered it and about what all we've done. So thank you all for any and everybody who helped in this situation. Other than that,
Make a motion to meeting adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, meeting adjourned. That's it.
Whew.